Good morning, everybody. How are we? We are back. Yes, we are back. It is Monday. Monday, what is it? Where's my date? Oh, Monday. It is Monday, the 9th. Monday, the 9th of June. We're already well over a week into June. And yeah, we're back. It's Monday. So that means it is a new weight loss week. Yeah, we are. Straight back into the driving seat. Hope you've all had a lovely weekend. Let me get my chat box up. Oh, morning TikTok, morning Facebook, morning YouTube. I've not even done the old good mornings yet. I will go through shortly and do the old top 5 on TikTok. Yeah, hope you've all had a great weekend. I've had a good weekend. It's been really nice. It's been very, very chill. We'll talk about that shortly. And what else we'll talk about? Talk about weight loss, of course. This is a weight loss live. If you've got any questions whatsoever, please get the questions in. I will do the very best I can to answer them for you to help you out. Right, let's do what we're doing first. Let's do top 5 on TikTok this morning. And let's see who's jumped in straight away. Faye's in at number 1. Steph G's in at number 2. Jackie's in at number 3. Kelly's in at number 4. And Lou is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. Thank you very much for jumping straight in the live, coming and saying hello. Beck straight in on YouTube. Good morning, Neil. First week. Here we go. Yes, Beck has just started this morning on the one-to-one plan. If you want to get on my one-to-one plan, you have got a week today and 2 weeks today, and then no start dates for a couple of weeks because I'm away. I'm not doing any plans for a couple of weeks. The last week of June, first week of July, no, I'm not writing any plans up. So if you do want to come on board, get on board now. Sign up today. I will start you a week today. You've got to Wednesday night this week to sign up, and I'll get you started on Monday. And then you will have till a week on Tuesday night to sign up. And then I'll get you started 2 weeks on Monday. After that, there's going to be no start dates. The next start date then is going to be the middle of July. Lynn's in. Good morning. Sheila, good morning. Who else is in? Paul is in. Good morning. Amy. Kelly C got meeting at school in a minute, so just popped in. Good morning, Kelly. Hope your meeting at school goes all good. Who else is in this morning? Anyone? Mr. John Jackson's in. I saw Mr. John Jackson. You managed to get your Boshy protein box yesterday. I have no idea why it went in the shop. It must have been something I selected. I have no idea why. But anyway, glad you've grabbed it now, mate. Maureen, good morning. Oh, good morning, Neil. Good morning, Maureen. James in, morning, mate. Backtracking now. Oh, you've had a nice weekend off. Yes. Shell's Artifactory shop, Cross Stitch shop. Morning to you too. Have I done all the good mornings? I think I have so far. Yes, a few of you, I assume, will have had a little blowout this weekend. Why? Because the Boss Your Weight Loss Challenge finished over the weekend. It finished technically on Friday, but I did have a couple of check-ins come in on Saturday. So we officially finished on Saturday. The end of the challenge for 3 months. The challenge will be back at the beginning of September. Honestly, the closest challenge I've ever done, which is great because it means so many of you guys put so much effort in, but absolute rubbish for me because I had to pick. Well, to be fair, the last 3 challenges, there's always been a draw. There's always been a draw for top spot, right? There's always been a draw for top spot. But this challenge, there was a clear winner. There was a standout winner, which definitely made it easier for picking the winner. Then there was the next 6 people all got the same point. So it was a bit of a nightmare for me to sort it all out. But we did sort it all out. And I ended up paying, giving prizes out for 7 people. Spot on my top, man. For 7 people. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's the challenge done for another. That's the 4th Boss Your Weight Loss Challenge done. And it will be back in September. If you want to enter September's challenge, you simply need to be on my one-to-one plan by the time we start the challenge in September. So anyone can join it. There's no limits, but like I say, you do need to be on my one-to-one plan. John's all sorted. Lovely, mate. I thought that. Do you know what? when you said like the coat, I was like, and then I looked and I was like, yeah, I wonder if it is. I mean, it's unusual, I assume, for a shop to have a locker and a shop, but you can get parcels that won't maybe fit into it. I have no idea. But anyway, at least it's all sorted now, mate. That's all good. Yes, the Bosch Protein box for May, for June, sorry, sold out. They sold out in a couple of days. They went really, really quick this time. But you can pre-order July's box now. So if you do not subscribe and you definitely want a Bosch Protein box, July's box will be out beginning of July. But you can order now, subscribe now, and you guarantee if you don't already. I have had about 5 or 6 people messaging me last week. Have I missed out on the boxes? Yeah, they went really, really quick this month. So they are gone. They're sold out. In fact, I need to put that. Let me put that on the website. And then you can't order one off the website anyway because the stock is empty. Stock is 0. Anyway, June 25 sold out. Pre-order July's Bosch Protein box. Now, if you guys already subscribed, you guaranteed a box anyway. Right, there we go. That's the website updated. Pete's in on Facebook. Morning, pal. Last day of work for me tonight. Oh, yes, Pete is off to... is it tomorrow, mate? You're off to Mexico. Have an amazing time, Pete. You will absolutely love it. It's our favourite place to go on holiday. It's our favourite place out of Europe to go on holiday. It's probably our favourite sun destination. It's obviously not the cheapest, but it's not actually the most expensive, if I'm being honest with you. The thing with going somewhere like, if you're going to Mexico, everything's all inclusive, so you don't really spend much money while you're there unless you can do a load of excursions. We've been a few times, so we don't do excursions when we go there. We just go and chill out for a week or so. But yeah, the upfront cost. But I'll tell you one thing, it's the same price as going to Tenerife. It is the same. We're going to Tenerife in October. Bed and breakfast and flights have cost us £2,000, and we will spend £1,500 in the week while we're there, spending money, eating out, lunches, food, drinks, and this, that, and the other. That's £3,500. We can go to Mexico, all inclusive, 10 nights, very, very nice hotel for £3,500. So it's the same price really as going to Tenerife. You just got to lay it out a bit more up front. Anyway, that's enough of travel talk. I am in travel mode this week because I am on my Holly Bobs a week on Saturday. I said this in my newsletter. I'm going to talk about it a little bit in my Worth the Calories today. Not Worth the Calories. A weekly weight loss vlog, which I'm going to record straight after this live. We're going straight in. Get the vlogging camera out. We're going straight in with the weekly weight loss vlog straight after this live. And that'll be out at tea time. Yeah, I just feel I've been struggling a little bit. Last week. Motivation. And I'm just ready for a break. So yeah, there might be a little bit of holiday talk over the next week or two because that break is literally as light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming up. Now Thursday. All right, okay. But the restaurant is always shut Tuesday and Wednesday. So chill for a couple of days and go away. Perfect, Pete. So away on Thursday. Get your packing done. Getting that. Try and resist that holiday mode too much. But yeah, you're good. Monreal. Oh my God, the protein crisps are absolutely immense in the box. Oh, Karen, I've never tried that flavour. Those protein crisps, I have had them quite a bit. They're really, really good. They do a couple of different flavours in Home Bargains. Those ones I ordered from my wholesaler. But yeah, I just thought they're a little bit different then. They're salt and pepper flavour. I've not actually tried them. There's about 3 or 4 products I've not tried. But this box is a belter. There are some absolutely... The chocolate orange wafer in the box. Oh my God, that is unreal. That's one of the best things. There's a couple of wafers actually in the box. Both of them are really, really good. I really struggled over the weekend and now feel so guilty. All right. So, yeah, a lot of people do, right? A lot of people do struggle over the weekend and then the food guilt hits. Now, look, first of all, if you have got food guilt, you're doing weight loss wrong, right? You need to, and don't get me wrong, I know you can't, I know we've been led to feel guilty about eating for years and years and years. So, you know, Slimming World, sin in food, makes you feel guilty about eating. You know, if you do something like the keto diet or just carbs in general. I mean, food is demonized so much in this day and age. If you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I post a lot of food ideas on Instagram and Facebook, meals that I'm eating, certain foods that have come out to help you with your weight loss journey. And the amount of unhealthy relationships with food, lack of understanding around nutrition that comes out in a lot of comments, it's heartbreaking, really, because I know all these people that demonize foods for no reason, without any context or understanding, have unhealthy relationships with food. And I've been there. And it's absolutely a horrible place. Thinking about all the guilt of eating, all these people that want to go seed oil, seed oil, seed oils. It's a massive thing at the moment. Everyone like seed oil, seed oils. And I'm like, do you never go out for food? These people obviously never go out for a meal, never have a takeaway, right? And there's nothing wrong with seed oils, by the way. All this negativity around seed oils has come around. So seed oils are things like rapeseed oil, your vegetable oils that you cook with, rapeseed oil in this country, which I think is called canola oil in the US, or there's a type of oil that we use in this country that is just canola, like sunflower oil in this country, or safflower oil might be called canola oil in the US, something like that. And there's all this around seed, and it's only come about in the last 2 to 3 years. Why is this demonization of seed oils come around in the last couple of years? Because there's been a big boom in something called the carnivore diet. And the carnivore diet is basically you eat meat, eggs, and cheese, right? Things like that. Some people on the carnivore diet will eat yogurts and stuff like that, like natural Greek yogurt. But really, it's meat, eggs, cheese, and butter and animal fats, right? That is it, yeah? How do you convince people that eating unhealthy fats is good for us? Well, we put an agenda out to make healthy fats unhealthy. It's dead simple. So if these fats are unhealthy, you can never convince people to do the carnivore diet, and they keep going down. We've been misled by the medical professionals that saturated fats. You've not been misled at all. Right, overconsumption of saturated fats are really unhealthy for us. Look, overconsumption of anything is very unhealthy for us, but overconsumption of saturated fats is extremely bad for us. But let's convince people to consume loads of unhealthy fats like lard and butter and ghee and beef tallow and coconut oil, right? And demonize healthy fats, because it's this. I can't sell my carnivore diet plan if people think this is healthy, which we don't eat, and this is unhealthy. Do you see what I mean? But yeah, I actually feel sorry for these people. I have a lot of empathy for them, right? Even though they might be knobs, they don't know me. It's nothing. Everyone's like, "How do you put up with all the hate comments?" Well, it's not personal against me. They don't know me. If I walk down any of them in the street, right? They wouldn't say boo to a goose to me. They wouldn't stand there, oh, you demon, you're trying to poison people by. They wouldn't have a flipping clue. In fact, they'd be like that because I'm 6'5" and 19 stone and built like a brick shithouse. So they'd literally go, oh, yeah, mate, yeah. Well, I've been told that. See, I know you've been told it, but I'm not lying, right? And don't just, and you might be like, well, how do I know you're not lying? And because I use context, I use evidence, I use overall rationale thinking around food. I use logic, right? That's it. I don't stand there and just point at something and go, this is bad for us, and tell us for no reason, right? Like I just said there, overconsumption of saturated fats is unhealthy for us. The average adult can eat 20 grams of saturated fat day in, day out, all their life, and it will never have a negative impact, or it'll have a very limited negative impact on their health, right? You can consume saturated fats. You can consume olive oil. You can eat fruits and vegetables. You can have the occasional McDonald's, right? That's how you should know, because I use logic. I use common sense, right? But anyway, where did I get into this? Right, but we have down, we've ended up with a very unhealthy relationship with food, a very unhealthy relationship with weight loss. And if you have a weekend where it's a higher calorie weekend and you eat foods that make you fat, you will have food guilt at the end of it. You will feel disappointed in yourself, feeling upset, feeling annoyed, feeling angry with what you've done over the weekend. If you do that, if you're sat there now on a Saturday morning going, I've had a terrible weekend eating, and that is food guilt, right? That is what guilt is, right? Disappointment is all part of feeling guilty and feeling like it's all part of feeling like you've done something wrong, and you've probably done nothing wrong, right? So, what should we be doing over the weekend? Well, over the weekend, this isn't actually how I've always done things. It's how I do things now. And I've sort of evolved my basic principles for weight loss. When I started my weight loss journey, I used to have treat nights. And my treat nights were Wednesday night, Friday night, and Sunday night. Those were my treat nights. And there were just an extra few calories that I gave myself on top of my normal calorie intake that I used to eat on a day-to-day basis. Now, and I kind of went down that road when I first started coaching. What I found was, in all honesty, because I give a healthy, sustainable calorie allowance out, we don't really need 3 treat nights a week. And I found that a lot more of my clients, because I used to give a midweek, if anyone that came on board with me 2021, 2022, I used to give you a midweek bump and then a bit of a higher calorie weekend. I've sort of found that people didn't really use that. People didn't really need it. And I, from probably around about 2016, maybe actually 2015, I kind of cut out the midweek bump. What I used to do a midweek bump was, I used to kind of feel that to go a full 5 days, without having some treats, having a little bit of, a bit of food freedom, I found would be too restrictive for me, to go from Monday all the way to Saturday without having a bit of food freedom. But in all honesty, like I say, because I give healthy, sustainable calorie allowances, you can enjoy a little bit of a treat during the week if you want to, because of the amount of calories I give my clients. Even if you're on 1,700 calories a day, right? And you're trying to stick to 1,500 during the week to bank some for the weekend. This is the big thing that we need to do at the weekend is, for the weekend, most of us want a few more calories at the weekend. My experience, I've done this job for a long time now, 8 years, right? Over 8 years, whether it's been working as a one-to-one personal trainer or moving into the online game that I do now. I've worked with people, helping them. When I was a PT, it was more about exercise, but while I'm with my clients, I was giving them a calorie allowance. I was talking to them about food, trying to improve their overall eating and stuff like that, right? And, weekends was always a struggle for a lot of people. So what I now do with my clients is, which is what I do myself, and it works perfectly well for them, is we do lower calories during the week. So we look at our daily calories as a daily average. We do slightly less during the week, right? And what we bank, what we call banking during the week. So what we eat slightly under our calories during the week, we take into the weekend. Savings account for calories, basically. And then when we want a few more calories at the weekend, because it is when we do, why do we need more calories at the weekend? Well, again, for the majority of us, I'm not saying this is the same for everyone, but at the weekend, routine goes a little bit out the window. That 9 to 5, Monday to Friday mentality, routine goes out the window. When they say, oh, you're drinking on the school night, we tend to, when we call it a school night, we tend to be a lot more structured, right? So that when that routine goes out the window, right, we are a little bit less, on it, right, as on it as we should be. So by giving ourselves more calories at the weekend, we give ourselves a bit more flexibility and freedom, right? At the weekend, we tend to do things that are a little bit more calorific, whether that's taking the kids for a Mackey's on a Saturday, whether that's going out with some friends for a bit of tea and a couple of drinks on a Saturday evening, whether it's having the family round for a big Sunday roast and apple crumble and custard on a Sunday. We just tend to do things that are a bit more calorific. So again, banking some calories going into the weekend gives us flexibility and freedom with our eating. So how we approach the weekends is a big thing, right? And then it's all down to mentality, to food and weight loss in general. So at the weekend, when we've got this food freedom, you are probably going to eat foods that are maybe a little bit less nutrient dense and a bit more calorie dense. And a lot of these foods in the past we've associated with making us fat, right? Those foods don't make you fat. What makes you fat is overconsumption of calories over a period of time. So no food makes you fat, no food makes you thin. No food makes you unhealthy in the moment. No food makes you healthy in the moment, right? Eating a lettuce does not make you healthier today, right? Eating a cheeseburger from McDonald's does not make you unhealthier today, right? If your diet contains more cheeseburgers than lettuce over the next 3 months, you are going to be more unhealthy than if your diet contained more lettuce than cheeseburgers. Does that make sense? It's what we do over time. So we need to understand, eating the odd calorie dense meal, less nutritious meal or food in an overall healthy diet doesn't make us fat, doesn't make us unhealthy, right? We also need to have a better relationship with weight loss. We can be very black and white with weight loss. We need to do it this way. And if we sway from doing it that way, even just a couple of mils, we've ruined everything. No, you haven't. Every single person, if you are calorie counting for your weight loss journey, you should know one number. And that one number is your calorie maintenance. This is what your calorie burn is over the week. And it includes your metabolism, it includes your average steps, it includes your average exercise, right? And this is your total calorie burn. It's only when we go past this number when we gain fat. And as long as we're under this number, we lose body fat. And depending on how far under we are, depends on how much body fat we lose. So this is my calorie burn, right? This is a pound of body fat, right? So this is my total calorie burn. We would call, if we're looking at over a week, we would call it our TWEE. So our total weekly energy expenditure. All the calories we burn over a week, that includes metabolism, everyday movement, and any exercise we might do. All right, this is this number here. We just need to eat less than this. This is a pound of body fat. This contains 3,500 calories. So for every 3,500 calories I am under this number, I will lose a pound of body fat. So if I'm 3,500 under, I'll lose a pound of body fat. If I'm 7,000 under, I'll lose 2 pounds. If I'm 10,500 under, I'll lose 3 pounds. All right. And this is your calorie deficit. Now, most of my clients, I put in a 3,500 calorie deficit a week. So they'll lose one a week, right? But even though this might be your calorie allowance and this is your calorie maintenance, right? Anything within this line, you're losing body fat. So let's say you go into the weekend, you bank a few calories for the weekend, but you don't quite stick to your banked calories, right? So you don't quite stick to your banked calories, you go over your calories. All you need to do is look at, but how much am I under this? Let's say you go 1,750 calories over your allowance. You're still 1,750 under this number. You'll still lose half of one of these in a week. And if we start to understand that and start to create a healthy relationship with food and weight loss, irrelevant of what you do at the weekend, you should not be feeling any disappointment on a Monday morning, any guilt on a Monday morning. Now, don't get me wrong. You might have the odd weekend where you know this number and you end up this side of it, right? And if that happens, right, if that does happen, and every now and then, have a look why. Justify it to yourself. If there is generally no justification, you've had a binge, some old habits have kicked in, you've done a lot of emotional eating, right? What you need to then do is go, right, why have I had this? And it's a work in progress. But I'll be honest with you, most people, if they're relatively accountable and accurate with tracking calories, I'm not saying the scales might do exactly what they want all the time. I've got clients that have worked with me for 18 months. And in 18 months, they might not actually be that much weight loss down. And you might be like, well, are you not failing as a weight loss coach? Then no, because if someone is overweight, it's because they've constantly been above this number. if I bring someone on board and 18 months down the line, they are at their current weight as they were 18 months ago, or even just a few pounds lighter, it means they've consistently never gone above this number, which is progress. Because to get to being 5 stone overweight, 10 stone overweight, 15 stone overweight, I work with some clients that are 25 stone overweight, right? Over time, they've constantly been above this number. So for 18 months, they've constantly been at this number or below it. That is progress. And eventually, we will get them to consistently be below this number. And that is when the consistent weight loss will kick in. Yeah. So it's all about approach. It's all about mindset that will massively help you. Whatever you've done over this weekend, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you've done, right, that it should be a very, very rare occasion where it's justifiable that you should be disappointed in yourself. You should have any guilt of what you've done over the weekend, right? Just starting my calorie deficit, try and took my protein to deal with hunger. Any tips? Yeah, so tips to deal with hunger. I write a lot of these questions down because it's good for content. Tips to deal with hunger and to up protein. Okay, so first of all, it's tips. There's sort of two things here. I'm trying to up my protein to deal with hunger. Any tips? Tips to up your protein. Yeah. Rather than trying to get loads of protein in one hit, structure it out throughout the day. Break down your meals, do a little bit of meal planning and go, right, do you eat breakfast? Yes, Neil, like a little flow chart. Do you eat breakfast? No, fine. We'll just go on to lunch. Do you eat breakfast? Yes. Right. What are you having for, does your breakfast contain protein? Yes, no. No. Right. Well, let's go on and make sure it does. So what are you having for breakfast? Now, I did a post the other day. You can make any meal high protein, right, with one simple thing. Washing anything down with a bit of a protein shake. 30 grams of protein powder, right, is about 100 calories and it will give you 20 grams of protein. The RDA for an adult, right, is 60 grams of protein a day. So if you have 300 calorie little protein shakes a day, you're hitting your RDA. Now, I'm not saying that's a high protein diet. I'm not saying that's sort of protein that's going to satiate you, but it is a start. Because around about, I think in the country, about 20% of people hit their RDA for protein. Our diets are very, very, this is for overweight people, right? It is a very common trend that overweight people, their diets are 80 to 90% carbohydrates. Now, I'm not saying that carbohydrates make you fat. They don't, but they don't satiate you that great unless they're full of fiber. And there is also a common trend that a lot of people that are overweight have low nutrient dense diets, right? So they consume a lot of carbohydrates that don't have fiber in them, right? Because fiber will work the same as protein in filling us up. Not quite as effective, but it's not bad at all. So if you're starting a calorie deficit and you want to improve your protein intake, just make sure breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you've got a good hit of protein. If you're a bit clueless to start off with, have a 100-calorie protein shake just before you eat your breakfast. So if you're someone that's like, yeah, I always have toast for breakfast, I always have crumpets for breakfast. Again, high carbs, digestive, don't make you fat. Calories make you fat. But if you're having a couple of pieces of toast at 8:30 in the morning before setting off for the office, you're going to be starving at 10 a.m. That's 2 hours before lunch hits, right? And then you're going to be like in the snack drawer, in the vending machine at work, right? And again, it's not going to be supporting you controlling your appetite, controlling your calorie allowance. So if you are someone that's like, yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a slowly catch a monkey approach. You can't go from one to another. Right? Again, you'll see all these people on social media, just eat chicken, just eat eggs, just eat this. We're not robots, right? If we've been used to eating in a certain way, to flip that round to eat in an extreme way is unsustainable, right? It's unsustainable for most people that, like for me, I've got a great relationship with food. I've got a really good, healthy, balanced diet. right? Do I eat some processed foods? Yes. Do I eat some ultra processed foods? Yes. Some, right? Do I eat ultra processed foods that are actually high in protein? Yeah, right. One thing a lot of people don't understand nowadays is we can get a lot of UPFs that are actually quite nutritionally dense. The issue with UPFs years ago is they had no nutrition in them whatsoever. Your turkey twizzlers, your alphabet spaghetti, your smiley faces, and stuff like that, right? And a lot of people have, ultra processed foods. Ultra processed foods aren't actually that bad. Not in 2025, right? The quality of our food, even in UPFs, is superb. Certainly compared to the 80s and the 90s nowadays, right? I'm not telling you to just go and eat ultra processed foods, but they are a lot better. A lot of people don't understand this. And again, it's just a lot of people demonizing on social media and people get wrapped up in it all. Right? But protein, structure your eating out, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Has it got a good source of protein? Like I say, if you're like, no, I like a couple of crumpets from your thing, right? Well, before you eat a couple of crumpets, whack a protein shake down. If you're someone that's like, I'm not a massive fan of protein shakes, Neil, drink that first, then eat your crumpets, right? Because your last thing you'll think about is your crumpets. But everything mulches together in the stomach. So you're going to get 20 grams, your crumpets might give you four grams of protein, which is hardly anything. But your protein shake for 100, and they might be 200 calories. Whereas your protein shake, so your breakfast overall is 300 calories, and at least you're getting 25 grams of protein in. If you get 25 grams of protein in 3 times a day, that's 75 grams of protein. I'm not saying that's enough, but, it's certainly more than a lot of people eat, right? Now, if you are trying to up your protein, again, you can keep it simple. Go to someone like Aldi. Breakfast, you've got protein yogurt, right? You've got protein pancakes. You have one protein pancake, 6 grams of protein with a protein yogurt dumped on top, right? That's 26 grams of protein. Yes, they're 2 UPFs, but they're 2 UPFs that are nutrient dense. Certainly nutrient dense in something that we need to fill us up to help us control our appetite. So for literally 250 calories, yeah, whack some berries on there, a little drizzle of honey, and for less than 300 calories, again, you're going to be getting 25, 30 grams of protein in, right? For your lunch, meat. Meat's your best mate when it comes to getting protein in. Whether you're having a chicken breast, whether you make yourself a bolognese dish or something with 5% fat mince, and I would always recommend any adult have at least 150 grams of meat per meal, right? So it might be 150 grams of chicken breast. 150 grams of chicken breast is giving you over 30 grams of protein. Same with your 5% fat mince. It's not going to be a million miles away. 5% fat pork, white fish, prawns, anything like that. Same for your main meal. And then if you want to put a little cream on top, again, protein shake, protein pudding, something like that, mid-afternoon. Yeah, at least 20 grams of protein. If you eat 4 times a day and you're getting at least between 20 and 30 grams of protein per meal, you're going to be over 100 grams of protein in the day. And for most people, for the average person, that is more than enough protein. Yeah. So it's about planning, it's about structuring, it's about, putting, and just prioritizing protein. Whenever you're thinking of having something, the first thought should be, what's the protein source? Breakfast, what is the protein source? Frosties. No. Yogurt. Yes. Right. There's my protein source. How do I then make that yogurt into a delicious dish? Right? Lunch. What's my protein source? Sandwich. No, that's not a protein source. Right? I'm not saying a sandwich can't be a high protein sandwich. Of course it can. What is your protein source? Chicken. Right. What chicken have you got? Sliced chicken. Right. How much of that do I need to whack in between 2 slices of bread to make a high protein sandwich? Again, just think about protein as being your number one macronutrient, if that makes sense. Yeah. Right, let me scan up. My daughter got the Maltesers out. I hadn't planned them, but still ate them. That's all right. So it's going to happen every now and then. Amy Evans, I'll ask you this. I know you come on, don't you, if you're still on, if you're still on. So, Monday to Sunday last week, what is your average calorie burn over the week? And how many calories did you consume? There you go. Those are the 2 numbers you should be looking at. Don't matter if your Maltesers come out and you run away with them a little bit. Right? If you're literally like, well, actually, Neil, I burned 16,000 calories over a week, And even with smashing the Maltesers in, I only ate 14,000. You're in a 2,000 calorie deficit. You've lost over half a pound of body fat and eaten a good few Maltesers. That's a win in my book. That's a positive. That's not a negative. Now, and every now and then, things like that are going to happen. Yeah. Let me scan up. Reggie Tara, good morning. Week of tracking really helped me not feeling depressed, now ready to hit the ground running. But you know what, you need it. You need these weight loss breaks. You really, really do. Jess is in. Morning, Jess. How you good? Or evening, Jess. Whatever time it is with you. Morning, boss. Keep smashing the day, mate. Love your content. Mackin78, very kindly said. Thank you very much. Jan B's in. Good morning, all. Jan B is our March 2025 winner. Round of applause to Jan. Jan, absolutely. To be fair, 8 people absolutely smashed the challenge. And between the winner, a joint second of 6 people, and a third place was 2 points. That was it. It was so close. It really, really was. It was absolutely so close. I really need to do this after this weekend. I've had thanks, not a problem at all. That is what I'm here for. I've just lost about 3 pounds. That's all right. Fat Chad. Is that like in total or over the week or what's going on? Morning, currently 4 stone down. We're loving that. We're loving all these success stories. I haven't looked at that, but I will. I did go for an extra walk after eating them. That's all. Those are the only 2 numbers you need to look at. Right? Anyone here on a Monday morning, and if you don't know those 2 numbers, you're losing weight in the wrong way. I don't give a toss if you're using Slimming. Fine, use it. If it works for you and you're being consistent with it and you like it, use it. But whether you're using Slimming World or the ketogenic diet or intermittent fasting, you should still know your weekly calorie burn and your weekly calorie intake. Now, I always say this, it's kind of pointless trying to do 2 weight loss methods at the same time. It's kind of, just do one, right? So if you're doing Slimming World and you're counting calories at the same time, just count calories, right? There's no need, but you should really, by knowing those 2 numbers, you're never shooting in the dark. You're never there going, did I gain weight this week? Well, you might have gained weight because gaining weight and gaining fat are 2 different things. But, as long as you know your calorie burn, right, over a week, and you know your calorie consumption over a week, it answers everything you need to know. Everything. And the big question is, did I lose fat last week? One of those 2 numbers. Do the maths, right? I burned 17,500 calories in a week. I ate 14,000. You lost a pound of body fat. Amazing. I burned 17,500 calories in a week. I ate 17,500 calories. You've maintained for a week. Amazing. And I mean that. And maintain is never a bad check-in. It never is. Because like I say, this is your what we call maintenance calories, your total energy expenditure, right? You're overweight because at a certain point in time, you've eaten more. Every single person that's got a weight issue now, from the day they were born to today, you've eaten more calories than you've burned. You might have done it when you were 5. You might have done it when you were 10, right? You might have got up to 16 stone at 21, and you might be 41 now and never got a pound heavier. Doesn't matter. From the day you left your mum to today, you have eaten more calories. And depending on how much you are overweight, I'll tell you, right? If you're currently 10 stone overweight, right? Let's say you're 10 stone overweight, right? If you're 10 stone overweight, from the day you were born to today, you have had 490,000 calories more than you should have done, right? 10 stone is 490,000 calories. You've eaten that. I'm not saying when you've done that, you might have done a bit as a kid, a bit as a teenager, a bit as a young adult. You might have been a skinny mini all the way up to being 25. And when you got married and had children and got comfortable in life, that's when you get, doesn't matter when you've done it. But if you're 10 stone overweight, at some point in time, from the day you were born to today, right, you have eaten 490,000 calories more than you should have done, right? If you're currently 2 stone overweight, from the day you were born to today, right, you have consumed 98,000 calories more than you should have done. That could have been in the last couple of years. It could have been, like I say, it could have been 20 years ago and you've been this. It doesn't matter. That's what you've done. Yeah? So if those are the numbers, right, why not answer the questions? right? So if you're currently 2 stone overweight, you need to put yourself into a 98,000 calorie deficit. Whether you do that over 2 months, whether you do that over a year, you just need to consume 98,000 calories less than you burn, right? So you need to be this side of the pen, not that side of the pen, for a period of time, and that weight will be gone, right? So we should know those numbers. Paul Whitaker, the protein stroke hunger question you are answering. I'd like to recommend Lift with Sarah on YouTube. She's on Instagram. She does great videos on eating balanced volume meal ideas. There you go. Go check out Lift W Sarah on YouTube. If they are, I'm not recommending that. Paul, one of my clients is. You can go and have a look. Remember, guys, as well, there are eating guides on the Facebook group. Just head into the files section. I'm going to upload a new one this week. I've not done a new one for ages. But if you are new, there are 9 on there. And on my eating guides, there are guides for if you're on 1,600, 1,800, or 2,000 calories a day. I don't really have any clients on less than 1,600 calories a day, right? You know, I might have some that are on 1,500 trying to bank for the weekend. But, you know, I promote healthy, sustainable fat loss. If any of my clients can't be in a 500 calorie a day deficit, eating 1,700 calories a day, I put them into a smaller deficit. It is that simple. Whether they eat the calories I recommend, that is down to them. But my eating guides are suitable. So if you're currently on 1,750 calories a day and you eat 1,600 calories a day, Monday, Tuesday, I'll show you one of my eating guides. I can't show you on Facebook. Well, I might be able to. I'll show you one. So if you join my community or you come on my one-to-one plan, right, we have a private Facebook group. I'll show you very quickly on YouTube, and I'll try and show you guys on YouTube and Facebook an example of an eating guide. And eating high protein, high fiber is really, really important, right? So this is for you guys on TikTok. This is the file section of the Boss Your Weight Loss Facebook crew, right? And there's 9 eating guides in here. So if you click on one of these, it's a PDF. It'll download it to your phone, right? Click on that, right? And that'll download to your phone or your computer. Click on that. You've got this permanently, right? And we've got these eating guides. So this is an example of eating 1,600 calories a day, 153 grams of protein, 26 grams of fiber. If you're on 1,600 calories a day and you eat like this, you will be extremely full. Protein yogurt bowl. 100 grams of Greek yogurt, 10 grams of protein powder, 14 grams of raspberries, 40 grams of blueberries, 20 grams of Aldi protein granola. Yeah. Lunch and dinner. Chicken, egg, and salad. Protein thin sandwich, crisps, and a yogurt. There you go. Aldi protein thin. Now, they don't do them anymore, so you have to get them from Lidl, or you can get Warburton's, right? 60, same calories. 60 grams of cooked chicken, medium hard-boiled egg, lettuce and red onion, tablespoon of light mayo, bag of Space Raiders, Muller Light yogurt. 449 calories. Yeah. Now, I'm not giving you the individual protein. I might have done that actually, going further down. I might have given individual protein breakdowns for thingy. This is the first one I did. Afternoon snack is an Aldi protein pudding and a pink lady apple, right? And then tea is grilled chicken, veg and gravy, right? Dead simple. 150 grams of chicken breast, 200 grams of skin on new potatoes, Jersey Royals at the moment, 100 grams of carrots, 100 grams of broccoli, 70 grams of peas, 1 Aunt Bessie Yorkshire pudding, 50 ml chicken, roast chicken dinner, right? 478 calories. Yeah. And then evening snack, an Oreo grenade protein bar for 233 calories. That is a 1,600 calorie day of eating, 153 grams of protein, 26 grams of fiber, right? And there's currently 9 of those, and I am going to put a new one in. So I'll put number 10 in this week. There are 9 of those eating guides in my Facebook group. And you download them, and if you join my community or come on my one-to-one plan, you can download them and they're permanently there for you. Right, you guys on Facebook or YouTube, let me see if I can show you on here, because obviously I can't. I can't flip my camera around. It won't work because I'm on my computer if you're on Facebook or YouTube. Let me just go through what I was talking about. Facebook. Oh, I'm not even logged in. Oh, am I logged in? It is me. Oh, my password's safe. That's all right. That's your Face ID. Right, let me log in and I'll try and show you on here. To be honest with you, you don't need to make anything complicated. If you're, what's this doing now? If you want to make volume, if you want to make your meals more volume, the most calorific macronutrient is fat. So if you make anything fairly low fat, right, you are gonna, if what you are eating is carbs or protein and carbs are 4 grams or 4 calories a gram, right? So if you watch your fats and you eat protein and carbs, your meals are going to be fairly low calorie anyway, right? And the most and if you include salad and veggies, it really is that simple. If you want to up your volume of your meals, right, 100 grams of broccoli is 36 calories for 100 grams. 100 grams of chicken, right? 100 grams of chicken, right, is really low calorie, but it's 110 calories. That's still very low calorie. So you can have 300 grams of broccoli for the same calories as 100 grams of chicken, which is very low in fat. So you want to increase your volume of your meals, fruits and veggies. That it really is that straightforward. You never ever, certainly with me, you never ever ever need to overcomplicate anything. Right, I'm just having a look here. Groups, seeing if I can show you on my iPad. I don't think I'm even on the Real Lost Boss here. God, this is the last time I've been on Facebook on my iPad. I don't even know how to switch user. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm coming up now. Right, let me have a look through here. You burn calories during rest, stroke, sleep, and exercise, so you probably don't need to track too much. Well, of course you need to track. Doesn't matter. You burn calories 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You burn calories sat at your desk. You burn calories. Just because you burn calories, right, and exercise, you don't actually burn that many calories. It's a really big misconception. A lot of people are, I exercise. I don't need to, now I'm exercising on a regular basis. I don't need to do the basics and understand energy balance, thermodynamics. You really, really do. Right. You guys on Facebook, YouTube, I don't know if you can see because there's a sheen, but in the file section of the Facebook group, you've got all these eating guides, right? And if I bring up eating guide one, if we view file, there we go, right? So that's what I was talking about there. This is full day of eating, high protein, high fiber, right, to fill you up. And they're all on there, and they're all a PDF. They download. There's one for 1600, one for 1800. It's the same kind of menu, as it were. I've just increased the volume. When we've increased calories, we just increase the volume a little bit. Yeah. So, yeah, if you want those eating guides, get into the Facebook group, click on the files section, and they're all there for you to download. 9 of them, and I'm going to upload 10 this week. And I'll try to get a bit more of a habit of doing more regular ones. Yeah. So, yeah, you burn calories during rest and sleep, 100%. That is called your metabolism. You burn calories through exercise, correct. You also burn calories through everyday movement. Now, if we look at our 3 main calorie burns, there is a 4th one, but I don't go into that too much because I tell you why I don't go into it too much, because I don't include it when I calculate my clients' calories. I use it as a buffer, right, for inaccuracy. Anyway, so what this person saying there, you burn calories during rest and sleep. That is called your metabolism. That for everyone is their biggest calorie burn day in, day out, right? Your metabolism for 99% of people will always be your biggest calorie burn. For me, it is 2,500 calories a day, right? Next, for most people, is everyday movement, right? And if everyday movement isn't your second biggest calorie burn, make that change, right? So I average about 11,000, between 11 and 12,000 steps a day, right? I burn about 600 calories a day through my everyday movement. Day in, day out, 700 calories a day. Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, no messing about, right? So 700 calories, call it 700 a day, right? 700 times 7 is, so my calorie burn is through metabolism, 2,500 calories a day, 17,500 over a week. My everyday movement is 700 a day. right? 600 to 700. Let's go 650. Let's go right in the middle, right? And that is 7 days a week, because I average. Some days I'll do 40,000 steps. Some days I'll do 9.5, 10,000, but I average 11.5. So every single day, about 650 a day. And then times that by 7, 6, 7's 42. So it's like 4,500 calories a week from my everyday movement. Now I go to the gym, actually at the moment, 7 days a week. 7 days a week, right? I teach spin twice a week, and then I lift weights 5 times a week, right? My calories from exercise in a day is 300, right? So that's 2,100. Now, ignore this. You might be like, well, you're not training very hard. No, my watch says when I go to the gym, I burn about 500 odd calories. They're pretty inaccurate. It's about 300, right? Do not look at your watch do only look at your watch calorie burn for accountability and understanding of averages. Don't look at it as gospel. That's what I burn. So when we're looking at overall calorie burn, metabolism number one, 2,500 a day. Just getting my steps in, mooching around the house, supermarkets. Yeah, I do a few steps, mooching around the gym, of course, walking the doggos, things like that. 650 a day. Going to the gym, training 300 a day, right? So what's more important? So if your steps are really low and you're doing this, work on this. Yeah, always get your priorities in order. Yeah, and irrelevant of how many calories you burn, yeah, we should be tracking our calories. Why? If you're overweight, you can't control your spending of calories. Therefore, you need a management tool. The most healthy, sustainable, and efficient management tool for controlling your calories is a bank account for calories. And that's NutriCheck or MyFitnessPal or Lose It or whatever app you want to lose. NutriCheck's the best. But whichever app you want to lose, right? Is and that's what a calorie count is. It's your bank account, right? You know, anyone that says it's pointless calorie counting, do you have a bank account for your spending for your money? Yeah. Saying it's pointless calorie counting is like saying it's pointless counting your money, looking at your spends, right? Budgeting, right? Doing your finances. Because I compare calories and money all the time. Calories and money. Two things, if you overspend them, you're going to end up in trouble. You overspend money, you end up in a lot of debt. You overspend calories, you end up fat, right? And overweight and unhealthy, right? So, you know, I use my bank account all the time. Right? I run a business. I have to have a management tool to control my finances. I have money that comes in, right? Money that comes into my bank account automatically separates into a pot to pay my corporation tax, right? It also separates into this. I can also track my money coming in and my money going out because I have bills to pay every month. I've got software that I pay for. I've got, you know, all the different bits and pieces that I pay for, right? If I didn't have a bank account, or even if I did have a bank account, because it's the only way you can get money in, but I never looked at it and I just spent what I want and go, I'll be all right. It's, you know, I earn money every day and I do earn money every day, right? Some days I have 20 quid going into my bank account. Some days I have £1,500 going into my bank account. Depends what day of the week it is. You know, I have a lot of client subscriptions go out at the end of the month. So the first few days of the month, I get a lot of money in. The rest of the month, I get dribs and drabs. But it's very rare in a day a certain amount of money, whether it's a tenner or 100 quid or whatever, goes into my bank account, right? So I earn money every day. Just like that person said there, you burn calories every day, right? So if I've got money going into my bank account every day, why do I need to look at it? Why do I need to create accounts? Why do I need to understand cash flow, profit, loss? Why do I need to understand? Because it's a management tool. Because if I didn't, I'd be all over the place. Because if I just spent what I wanted, when I get to the end of the month, it's like, oh, how do I pay for my website? That is where people sign up to my plans. Right? How do I pay for my Restream software where people are coming on and doing the lives now? How do I pay for my Zoom sessions that my community logs into to come and do, you know, coaching lives with me or thingy? Right? Oh, well, you can't pay for that. Right? Well, that'll just bounce and then Zoom will cancel and your email software will cancel and your website will shut down. Oh, next thing, my business goes bust. Right? Because I've got a management tool and I look at it. And a lot of people don't use a management tool right. They don't structure their finances correctly. And unfortunately, their businesses go pop. I don't want to be in that position. So I look at my bank account every day. I track my spending every day. I create my accounts every month and I keep on top of everything. Calories is no different, right? We get paid a certain amount of calories every day, every week, every month. It's called your calorie burn, right? I get paid about 24,000 calories a week. I then use my calorie counting app to determine my spend versus, and some days I won't spend a lot. Some days I'll spend a bit more. Sometimes it'll get to the end of the week and I'm like, oh, I've got a lot of calories left, right? Like it might get to the end of the month. I've got a bit of money left. Let's treat myself. Let's pay myself a little bonus, or let's do this, or let's, that new vlogging camera you've been wanting, Neil. You can now afford it because you've managed your money correctly. Let's go buy it. That'll improve your content. That'll build your business, right? With weight loss, you get to the end of the week, you've managed your calories correctly, right? But you've got 4,000 left for Saturday. You know that cheesecake you've been dreaming about that's sat in Aldi, that piece of cheesecake or Morrison's, or that cafe you love to go to and they do the best full English breakfast on a ciabatta roll. Let's go and have that today because you've used a management tool to manage your calories correctly and you can afford to go and enjoy something a bit more calorie dense, right? So that's why you need to track calories, right? It's so important. When you're doing a diet like Slimming World, you're just shooting in the dark all the time. What calorie deficit are you in, right? How is your spending going? Likewise, we can go too restrictive with spending money. If you're someone like that, you get paid at the end of the month, you pay your essential bills out, and the rest of it, you just squirrel it away. If that's what you want to do, that is absolutely fine. But for most people, if you live like that, you're going to live a pretty boring, rubbish life. You might be happy. And if you're happy doing that, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. But for most people, I couldn't think of anything worse than not spending a percentage of my income on things that I absolutely love. Whether that is some new trainers, because I love my trainers, right? Whether that is going on holiday, because I love my holidays. Whether that is going out for tea, because I enjoy going out for tea. Right? It's kind of the part of the reason why I work as hard as I do. Right? I could work a lot less hard, right? Earn a lot less money and just pay my basic bills and just sit in my house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, living my life like this. I don't want to live like that. Right? So, we if we're fat, right, we have to be honest with ourselves. If we've got a weight issue, we can't subconsciously control our calorie spending. So we need to put management tools in to control that spending. It needs to be done in the right way, right? Like I say, you can save money in the wrong way. You can live your life in the wrong way. You're going to be miserable and unhappy, right? But if you do everything in the right way, you'll be happy. You'll have a nice balance and so on and so forth. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Rage, good morning, boss. Good morning. Tracking calories annoys me, but when I track them consistently, I lose consistently. Yeah, absolutely. But if tracking calories annoys you, it's probably the same as looking at your money annoys you because you want to just be, sometimes looking at my finances annoys me because I want to go and buy that £250 pair of trainers, but I can't. And it's bloody annoying. Right? And that's the kind of the same mentality. We want to live footloose and fancy free day in, day out. We don't want to have, we don't want to be ruled by the manager that says you need to be a 9 to 5. I want to go to work when I want to. Right? I want to finish when I want to. I don't want to have to book annual leave. I want to go on holiday every 6 weeks for a week. In fact, I want to do it every month. Right? We don't like, not authority. A lot of us don't like rules and boundaries. And that's why we might get annoyed by, but we've got to have them. It's how we live our life, right? Unfortunately, we've got to have some rules and boundaries, It annoys you because it makes me accountable for my poor decisions. Absolutely. Just like me, I'm terrible with money at times, right? And sometimes I look at my bank account and I will go, right? Maybe I shouldn't have gone and done that. Right? And it happens every now and then. And you've got to live with that decision and you've got to pay the money back and you've got to just, and yeah, my bank account annoys me from time to time. like I say, it annoys me as well because I look at it and go, I want to buy that and I can't. I want to book this and I can't because I haven't got the funds to do it. Right now, a lot of people won't go. I can't. They'll go, right. I've not got the funds in that, but Mr. Visa, right, or Mr. MasterCard that gives me 15 grand at 40% a month interest, I've got the funds on that. So let's do it anyway, right? And again, this is where we end up in trouble with our finances. Calories are no different. Yeah. I'm better with money than I am with calories. I'm better with calories than I am with money. So me and you, John, we need to vibe off each other. That's what we need to do. We need to find a nice middle ground. To be honest with you, I am better with money now than I used to be as I got older. When I first, and maybe it's down to my weight loss, I've been in debt a lot throughout my life from gambling and a few other bits and pieces. And to be honest with you, while I've been on my weight loss journey, I did get, in debt quite a bit because I wanted to live a life I'd never lived. And I was quite footloose and fancy free with spending. And I did run up a lot of debt, 15, 16, 17. I had a pretty decent job. I had a pretty decent job. It paid pretty decent money, but I was buying ridiculous amounts of clothes because I'd never been able to go to a shop and buy clothes before. We were doing a lot of holidays. We were, I bought a really nice car that I couldn't really afford, but I was having it anyway. So I have done. And then quite lucky, really, when I became a personal trainer, my income working for myself, although it's quite hard, my income did sort of increase quite a bit, and I did sort of put the reins on a little bit. COVID helped, right? Because although my business did shut down in COVID, actually I came out of COVID a lot more than going in because we couldn't do anything. So it kind of stopped me spending money, and I didn't really stop earning. Like we had like the first lockdown where I couldn't work for 8 weeks, but I'd saved up quite a bit before then. And then I was working in my garden. I was doing all that. It was coming out of COVID. I was doing 60 hours a week in my back garden because no one had exercised for 3 months. Everyone was just desperate to do anything. And as soon as Bozza went, yeah, you can train one-to-one with someone, I went straight on my local Facebook group. Hey guys, personal trainer, I've got all this equipment. My back garden's AstroTurf flagged. I'm setting up a little outside gym area. Does anyone want to PT sessions? And I was literally working from 8 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, 6 days a week, right? Brilliant. It was absolutely superb. I didn't have to drive anywhere. I didn't spend any petrol in my bloody back garden. So, yeah, I've been like that with finances up and down. Like I said, I don't mind being honest with you guys. I'm not bothered. Calories have always been pretty damn decent, if I'm being honest with you. My current deficit has become my maintenance. Still looking to lose a bit more. Do I lower my calories? Right. So tell me why, Sandra, you feel your current deficit has become your maintenance. Is it because you've just stopped losing now? Or and is that because your calorie burn now meets your intake? Because on average, calories drop about 50 calories a stone that we lose a day, right? So let's say you're currently burning 2,500 calories a day, right? And you're 15 stone, right? When you get down to 14 stone, you'll be burning 2,450 calories a day. When you get down to 13 stone, you'll be burning 2,400 calories a day. Now, if you're in a 500 calorie a day deficit, if you're currently 15 stone, right, before your deficit became your maintenance, you'd have to get down to 5 stone, which you'd be dead if you got down to that weight. So that's not a case, yeah. I've stopped losing weight. I'm not gaining nor losing. It's been very consistent for about 3 weeks. What, you mean? Right. Sandra, first of all, tell me your start weight. Tell me what you've lost. Tell me how long you've been on your weight loss journey for. All right, how long you been dieting for? All right, and I'll tell you if your maintenance has become, because it takes months, well, years probably. So if you're going to come to me like, have you been like, I've lost for 3 weeks in a row? I'm not sure if this is what you're getting at. Like, I started 3 weeks ago. I've lost, and this week I've maintained. Right, I've lost 1.5 stone in 2 months. Right, so you're 1.5 stone down. So your calorie burn has dropped by 75 calories a day, right? And you've lost 1.5 stone in 2 months. So 1.5 stone, let's say there's a bit of a whoosh effect in that. So let's say you've lost 17 pounds of body fat in 2 months, right? So that means you've been in a 59,500 calorie deficit over 2 months, right? Let's divide that by 9 because that's roughly how many weeks are in 2 months, right? So you've been a 6,600 calorie deficit a week. Let's divide that by 7. So you've been in a 940 calorie deficit a day over the last 2 months to lose that amount of weight, right? From 1.5 stone of loss, your calorie burn has dropped by about 75 calories, right? So you are still in, and if you were still doing what you were doing 2 months ago, you'd be still in it. So your calorie burn has not become your deficit has not become your maintenance. You've just stopped doing what you were doing. That's it. You don't need to mess with your calories. Well, you might need to mess with your calories. I'll tell you why. Right. So it's not your calorie deficit has become your maintenance. What you were doing to lose that 1.5 stone, you're not doing it anymore. Why? Because to drop 1.5 stone in 2 months, you've got into a very restrictive calorie deficit. And to stick to a restrictive calorie deficit long term is unsustainable. It doesn't happen. You've hit what I call the weight loss brick wall, right? This is your brick wall. And if we do things wrong, eventually you can call it falling off the wagon. You can call it whatever you want. I call it the weight loss brick wall. When we're trundling along, and then suddenly the method we're using, for whatever reason, we can't do it anymore. Subconsciously, we can't drive ourselves to eating 1,000 calories a day. We can't drive ourselves to sitting 12 sins a day. Bang, you hit the brick wall and your weight loss stops. So tell me about how many calories you've been eating, right? Tell me how you've been doing this method, how you've lost your 1.5 stone. Right, we'll always get to the bottom of it, you know. Do you do calorie deficits on live? I had a baby 6 months ago and I can't shift. No, absolutely. Anyone that does calorie deficits on live sat there going, tell me your weight, tell me your thing, tell me that. Absolute garbage. They're giving you nothing. They're giving you, so they basically, it's like saying, there's loads of people on social media that say, sign up, click this link to get my free 7-day fat loss. And you think you're getting something free from them. So you'll click the link and you'll sign up. What you're actually doing is giving them your data. You're giving them your email address and permission for them to email you. Their 7-day fat loss plan isn't worth the paper it's written on. You'll try it, you'll fail, and then they'll keep bombarding you with emails saying, well, you need to sign up to this, and it's £1,000 for 3 months. Right? It's basic marketing. Right? So all these people that sit there, I'll work out your calories for you, come on live, right? They are literally going to give you information that they personally know is not going to help you one iota, yet you feel they're brilliant. They give free this out, they give free that out. It's amazing. No one gives anything out for nothing. I don't sit on these lives, I'll be honest with you, for hours and hours and hours each week, right? For free. I sit on these lives hoping you guys will build up a rapport with me. You like me, you put your trust in me, and you'll either join my community or you'll sign up to my one-to-one plan so I can be your weight loss coach. That's it, right? Now, I love doing these lives. I love interacting with you guys. I love chatting away. You know, we go off on tangents. We talk about holidays and different foods and this, that, and the other. But, you know, if I didn't do these lives, I wouldn't have a business, right? It really, really is that simple, yeah? You know, all these things, oh, did it not work for you? Well, what you need to do is sign up to my app. And it's probably because you're not doing this, you're not being accountable. And it probably is that. right? So no, if you want your calories from me, right, and the calorie allowance I give you is 95% bang on, right? These people that are giving out free is probably 50% bang on. You can use tdecalculator.net or something like that, 60%, still pretty rubbish, but you can use it and it's free. No one gives anything away for free, right? That's really going to help you. And I'm not being cynical when I say that. It's the truth, isn't it? Nothing in life is free, right? If you want a full calorie breakdown from me that will give you the information that you need to know your maintenance calories. You don't need a random number. You need to know your maintenance. You need to know why I got to this number. And I will show you your metabolism. I'll show you your maintenance calories. And I show you your calorie deficit. You also get a month's access to my community. It's £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. Yeah, you pay for it because I don't give anything away for free, right? You pay for it. It's £5. Come join my community. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube. Join my community. £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. You get a full calorie breakdown from me. It also means I'm insured to give you direct help, right? So if for whatever reason you say, I ate your calories for the last 3 months, Neil, that you recommended, and I fainted at work and knocked myself out, and I'm holding you liable for that because I've not eaten enough, apparently, according to such and such. Come at me. I've got £10 million public liability insurance and business insurance. Are you all good? Not that that has ever happened, and it never will happen because I'm not a cowboy, right? But come join my community and I'll give you a full calorie breakdown. And some people might go, right? Some people might go, oh, well, he's charging. He just wants money out of you. It's my business. I couldn't sit here if I didn't get paid, right? It's my livelihood. I assume you get paid for going to work. Would you? I mean, don't get me wrong. Anyone can criticize me charging £5 to do a full calorie breakdown and giving you a month's access to my community if you literally volunteer 24 hours a day, 7 days. If you go to work and you say to your boss at the end of every month, don't pay me, mate. I'm doing it for the love of my health, for the good of my health. I'm doing it for the love, right? And if you're in that position, brilliant. But I'm not, unfortunately. I've got a mortgage, So come join my community and we'll get signed up. Can't use the discount codes. I've already done it once before, a year and a half ago. Then it's £9.99, Anna. And it's £9.99. You can only use my discount code once, right? Then it'll just cost you £10, Anna, to get your calories. But at least you know the bang on. And you get a month's access to the community, right? And you'll never need to, and your calories are right. And if you stay in with the community, I'll recalculate calories if and when we ever need to look at them again. What if I have a chronic condition that means I can't do all the exercise? You don't need to. Don't get me wrong. Exercise indirectly is beneficial for weight loss. It makes you feel better about yourself. It improves your mental health. It improves your physical health. If all those things are tip top, it does make weight loss easier. But if you can't do physical exercise, right, then that you can't do it. To lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Now, people that can't have a decent level of movement, my problem is I give up too easily. Want to see a loss straight away. I know it's bad. Then I need to come on the one-to-one plan. And you need one-to-one coaching. You need to change that mindset, change that mentality. Because if you don't, right, then you'll be in this constant circle. You'll be back on if you signed up 18 months ago to the community, I know you've had a baby, right? But in 18 months' time, you'll be coming on my live and going, I can't do it. I can't do it. You've got to break that circle at some point. When are you going to break that circle, right? And getting direct one-to-one coaching, will improve your mentality. Yeah. And like John says, if I'm a stone heavy now, so wouldn't Cal's be a bit different now? A bit different, yeah. And it's always worth getting. You're a bit older, things are a bit different, your movement might have changed for the sake of a tenner, Anna. But it's up to you. If you use it's not going to be a million miles away. Is the calories you give different from what Nutracheck give you? Yeah, absolutely. Much better. Like Nutracheck's an amazing app for tracking calories. It's rubbish for calculating calories. So is MyFitnessPal. Right? At the end of the day, what we have to accept with calorie calculators is you either it's like anything. Like what's better? Like when you go to these automated car washes, right? And you go to one of these automated car washes and you drive in and it's got these buffers that go up and down and it does all this. What's better? That or going to getting a proper guy to come and detail your car, right? Or guy, when I say guy, male or female, gender neutral, right? You know, what's better? What's better than a car? What than a one of them automatic ones at Morrison's that's 350? What's better? Like going to the the car wash at side of road where they actually lance your car, clean it, dry it, do all the bit. Right? The Morrison's car wash is 354 quid. The person at side of the road's a tenner. Right? You get what you pay for at times. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. If you're happy to go for a car, oh, I missed a bit here, missed a bit there, got streaks. There's a chance that the buffer things will scratch your paintwork or whatever. If you're happy in paying £4 and that, and you don't mind that, then use the £4 one. Right? If you want someone to actually, clean your car, right, properly without damaging it, then you pay a little bit more, don't you? I came off lives before I was pregnant. The lower the number on the scale, the better if the scales go up. The lower the number on the scale, the better if the scales go up. Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean by that, Anna? But yeah, the calories I give are much more healthier and sustainable than NutriCheck will give you. Right, let me scan up. I thank you, boss, for sticking with me through my hard few check-ins I've had. I know I can do it. Of course you can, Jess. And again, this is where, me and Jess have worked together before. First time Jess come on plant, she was struggling a little bit. And it is so easy to give up. This time, Jess's mentality is different. She's had a couple of tough check-ins. She's still lighter than she was when we started. She's still making progress, but it happens, but different mentality, not giving up, still working hard, and we will get there. Neil has changed my life and my future. Simple as that. He knows what he's talking about. Lynn, thank you very much. Lynn's done absolutely amazing. And Lynn actually ended up finishing second in the challenge in March, doing absolutely superb, really, really good. But yeah, chronic illness. If you can't exercise, you can't exercise. It's just something. If anyone can't do a decent level of movement, certainly at the start of their weight loss journey, then what we have to simply do is we have to just basically be appreciative that we're very impatient. Anyway, that's Anna's issue there. We just have to accept that we need to, weight loss isn't going to be £2 every week, right? It just isn't, right? It's going to be a little bit slower. But hopefully, it doesn't matter what condition anyone is in, right? I've worked with so many different people, right? It doesn't matter what condition anyone is in, weight loss will improve that. Right, it will improve that. You might have some health conditions that are not terminal, but are never going to go anywhere. But weight loss will improve. Weight loss will improve it. It genuinely will. Right, guys, I've got to go. I've just seen the time. I've got to go. I'm going to record my weekly weight loss vlog straight into that. Going to get that boxed off. Then I'm going to the gym, and I've got a dog too. The dogs are absolutely flat out. I don't know if you can see. I've got one. I can't really show you guys on TikTok, but dog's sitting at the moment. Excuse my washing that's there. Got one flat out there. We've got one flat out here. But Wilma's going back today. So while they're chilling, I'm going to get my weekly weight loss vlog recorded. And then I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to drop Wilma off back home on the way to the gym. And then I'm going to Aldi to do a shopping haul. I know I'm meant to be going back into a supermarket, but why am I not going into a supermarket this week? Well, I'm going to Aldi. Can't be bothered taking my camera with me today. And I've enjoyed doing these shopping hauls, the last couple of shopping hauls. I'm going to go do another shopping haul. Plus, I don't think I'll be getting loads. I'm going to go to Sainsbury's. I'm going to do one in Morrison's as well, like a shopping haul, and actually go to the supermarket, because there's certain things you can see that I won't actually buy that I can talk about. Obviously, when I'm doing a shopping haul in the kitchen, I'm only showing stuff that I've bought. But at the moment, there's not loads of new bits and pieces knocking about. Sorry, I'm just putting my mic on. There's loads of new bits and pieces knocking about. So I'm actually going to do another shopping haul this week video for the old YouTube. So I'm going to record. I'm going to go and do that afterwards, and I've also got to worth the calories to start as well. A busy day, so I've got to go. Right, I've just signed up to the community. What do I do now, Anna? When you sign up, anyone signs up to the community? Oh, someone else just signed up to the community. Guys, when you sign up to the community, go to your Anna. You're in, right? Anna, now you signed up to the community. Go to your email. you'll have a download you'll have an order confirmation. In the order confirmation is a download. It's a bit trickier off your phone, I've heard, than it is through maybe using an iPad or a laptop, right? Download that. There's a sign up confirmation in there. There's all the links to join back into the community. If you've been in the community and left, I might need to re-add you to the WhatsApp bit, but you'll be able to add yourself to the Facebook group. And there's a little consultation form. Fill that in, send it over, and I will send you all the details. I'll work out your calories this afternoon for you and send them over. If anyone is struggling, if I don't hear from any of you guys that have signed up this morning, I'll email you this afternoon and just say I can send you all the bits and pieces directly. All right. But check your order email, click on the downloads, download those bits and pieces. Confirmation PDF, links in there to join the community, little consultation form, ping that over. I'll work out your calories and I'll send them all over to you this afternoon. Thank you very much for signing up. And you'll have your calories this afternoon ready to go. Right, it's been a pleasure as always. I'm back 8 p.m. tonight. So I'm going to shoot off. Have a wonderful, what are you going to have a wonderful doing? Monday. It's a new weight loss week, isn't it? It's a new set of calories in the bank. Step count is 0. Let's lay that foundation for a good weight loss week. Really good Monday, Tuesday. Have a good Monday, Tuesday. It'll put you in the right frame of mind. Wednesday, and it'll just snowball into a really good weight loss week. So let's smash Monday. And I'll see you at 8 p.m. tonight. And you can tell me TikTok. I'm going to sign off to you first. Hopefully, if you're free, I will see you at 8 p.m. this evening. And then you guys over here on Facebook, not Facebook. Facebook and YouTube. I'll be back at 8 p.m. tonight. So smash your Monday and come on this evening and let me know.